She went from viral dancehall queen to crying on a church floor. From the cover of party flyers, to the edge of a rooftop, ready to jump. This is not just a story about heartbreak, it's a story about betrayal, survival, and finding God in the darkest part of the night. Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real, raw, and rooted in God's truth. I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're part of the YouTube fam or just found us, you're in the right place. If you're returning, you already know how we do. Let's dive into this scandalous story time, because chilly, this one is hot. Dutty Wine and Heartbreak, love gone wrong in the dancehall. The Dutty Wine queen. There was nobody like Shanice Wine Down Walters. Every garrison party from Spanish Town to Halfway Tree chanted her name when she entered the crowd. She wasn't just dancing, she commanded the dance floor like royalty. Her hair? Natural and fierce. Her waistline? Weapon of mass seduction. Her signature move? A triple spin Dutty Wine that made men speechless and women either admire her or hate her. At only 23, she had more Instagram followers than some artists. Promoters paid her just to appear at events. She even had a dance move named after her, the Shanice Spiral. A deadly slow-motion whine mixed with a back arch that left jaws on the ground. But behind the glitz, her bedroom told a different story. No father around. Her mother, Miss B, was a strict church woman who disapproved of her lifestyle and hadn't spoken to her in months. Shanice told herself she didn't care. She had fans. She had fame. She had money. What she didn't have was love. And then came Mario Razorblake. He saw her at a rooftop party in New Kingston, standing under a neon light, her hips moving like ocean waves. He didn't approach her like the others. No catcalls, no jokes, just a nod and a calm, "Me see how you move, but me wonder if your heart can dance too." Shanice smiled. For the first time in a long time, she felt seen, not just as a body, but as a woman. And just like that, the Dutty Wine queen fell. Hard. Enter Mario Razorblake, extended. If Shanice was the queen of the dance floor, then Mario Razorblake was the puppet master behind the curtains. Tall, brown-skinned, beard always perfectly shaped, and his Rolex shining brighter than the stage lights, Razor was the definition of Gil magnet. But it wasn't just the looks, it was the talk. Razor could sell seawater to a fisherman. He was the man behind some of the biggest underground parties in Kingston, from Bassline Fridays in Tivoli to glow-up Sundays in Ocho Rios. If Razor put your name on a flyer, you were made. And Razor had plans. He was building an empire, and when he saw Shanice, he didn't just see a girl. He saw a brand. He invited her out to brunch in Red Hills. Not a party, brunch. Classy. Private. Where the real deals happened. He pulled out her chair. Complimented her mind. Quoted Bob Marley. Told her she wasn't like the other girls. "You a star, Sean, but stars need management. Me can take you to the top, if you trust me." She laughed nervously. No man ever approached her like that. No one had ever offered her vision, just vibes. That same week, he had her booked at 3 events, all VIP, all big payouts. Razor was a man of action. Shanice was falling fast. And just when her mother, Miss B, tried to call to say "Be careful, baby," Shanice let it ring out. "Me nah look back. Forward me a pre." But what she didn't know was that Razor wasn't only managing her. He was managing 3 other girls, 2 of whom were also special to him. And one was planning to take Shanice out of the picture. Love, lies and a scandalous betrayal. Everything was moving fast. Shanice was now front and center at every top-tier event. Posters with her face. Custom outfits. Her own segment in the dance hall. Razor was shaping her brand, booking interviews, even talking about launching a wind-down merchandise line. She felt unstoppable. But things started getting strange. Razor became harder to reach. Late-night calls got ignored. He'd claim he was on the road, but his IG stories told a different story. Beachside drinks, yachts, hotel balconies, but never with her. Shanice brushed it off. He's busy building the dream, she told herself. Then came the Barbados tour. Razor told her she'd be opening for a major UK dancehall artist at an exclusive Caribbean concert. Big money. Big exposure. He flew her out, gave her a VIP suite, and made her feel like a queen again. That night, she had a brand new bodysuit made of rhinestones and mesh, ready to kill the stage. But as the crowd roared and the lights flashed, Razor stepped on stage first. And right behind him, came Trinidadi TT, international dancehall diva, curvy, loud, and holding Razor's hand. The music stopped. Shanice froze in the wings, confused. Then TT took the mic. Big up me fiancé, Razor Blake. Y'all know we're getting married next month in London. The crowd screams. Confetti falls. Camera flashes. Shanice drops her water bottle. Time stopped. Her heart pounded louder than the rhythm. She watched TT kiss Razor on stage, the same man who told Shanice just last night that he loved her. The same man who promised her forever. And then the crowd turned, someone in the front pointed and shouted, "Wait, isn't that the same girl from Razor's IG stories last week?" Wagwan. Phones came out. Screenshots flew online. Hashtag #WineDownMeltdown started trending on Twitter. Shanice didn't wait to hear more. She ran backstage, collapsed in the makeup tent, and screamed into a towel. That night, she drank until she couldn't feel. She cursed him out in voice notes, broke her phone, and went silent. No flights. No friends. No faith. Just pain. The blogs dragged her, side chick don't know she's the side chick. Dancehall drama, Razor's fiancé versus Razor's dancer girl, she couldn't go online. Couldn't show her face. The same stage that once praised her, now mocked her. And worse? Miss B, her mother, called. But Shanice couldn't pick up. She stared at the screen, tears in her eyes, heart shattered beyond words. 2 weeks passed. Shanice was still in Barbados. Hiding in a cheap Airbnb, curtains closed, phone off, eating crackers and rum cream. Her suitcase sat untouched in the corner. The wig she wore on stage lay on the bathroom sink like a dead bird. She hadn't danced. She hadn't smiled. She was broken. Me a idiot. Me give up everything fi a man when never even rate me. She replayed that stage moment in her head like a horror film. Over. And over. And the worst part wasn't Razor. It was her, the way she ignored all the signs. The way she shut out her mother. The way she let her worth get tied up in one man, one spotlight, one lie. She looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the girl staring back. That night, she went to the rooftop of the Airbnb complex, barefoot, hair a mess, eyes swollen from crying. The stars above mocked her, just like the internet. And as the wind brushed her face, she climbed the ledge. She looked down. And whispered, "God, ya dead, eh? Or me just fool fi real?" But just as she started leaning forward, a voice behind her shouted, "Shanice?" It was Ruthann, an old friend from Spanish Town, whom she hadn't seen in years. The same Ruthann who used to party hard, wine even harder, but had since given her life to Christ and moved to Barbados to join a women's healing ministry. She was walking past the building when she saw someone on the ledge. She sprinted up the stairs like the Holy Ghost pushed her. "Gil, you mad? God na done wid you yet." She grabbed Shanice off the ledge and wrapped her in a hug so tight, it broke the last bit of pride Shanice had left. And for the first time in years, Shanice sobbed. Not pretty tears, ugly ones. Everything poured out, the betrayal, the lies, the loneliness, the guilt. That night, Ruthann brought her to church, not a big fancy one, but a little pink chapel with plastic chairs and a broken mic. The pastor didn't even preach long. But his one line pierced through Shanice like lightning: "You can't heal what you won't surrender. But if you give God the ashes, He will give you beauty." Shanice fell to her knees. No makeup. No filter. No followers. Just a daughter returning to her father. She stayed with Ruthann for 3 months. Got off social media. Took counseling. Started journaling. Reading Proverbs. Learning how to love herself without a dance floor. She found her voice, and realized she was more than a waistline, more than a scandal, more than Razor's puppet. Redemption and real love 1 year later. Shanice Winedown Walters was no longer trending on the blogs. But in a little church in downtown Kingston, her story was changing lives. The same girl who once spun her head in dancehall now stood on stage, microphone in hand, confidently testifying to a packed youth gathering. The lights weren't flashing. The music wasn't loud. But the atmosphere? Electric. She wore a long, elegant African print skirt and a natural fro, bold and beautiful. No shame in her eyes. Only wisdom. Me bruck me heart fi a man who never loved me. But in me lowest moment, me meet a man who never left me, Jesus Christ. The crowd went silent. Some girls cried. Others stared, shocked at the transformation. But one thing was clear, Shanice wasn't performing, she was healing. She'd started a non-profit called Wine into Purpose, a mentorship and empowerment movement for young women who were lost in the world of image, men, and clout chasing. She spoke in schools. Prisons. Even went live weekly on Instagram, reading Proverbs and praying for her followers. Her DMs were now filled with testimonies, not bookings. Young girls saying, "You saved me." Single mothers writing, "I walked away from a toxic man after watching your video." One day, while speaking at a women's conference in St. Mary, she met Jeremiah. A humble youth pastor with a calm spirit, kind eyes, and a voice that made scriptures sound like poetry. He didn't care about her past, only her purpose. He never called her wind down. He called her Shanice, a queen, a warrior, a daughter of God. And this time, she didn't lose herself in love. She loved him from overflow, not emptiness. Dutty wine broke her neck. Heartbreak almost broke her soul. But God used the ashes of her past to build a fire that would light up a generation. Shanice is proof, you can dance in the world, but still find your way back to the cross. Final lesson: don't let your value be determined by your visibility. Don't mistake applause for love. And when this world breaks, you run to the one who created you. Because when man disappoints you, God will restore you. Sometimes, God allows us to be broken, not to punish us, but to awaken us. In the silence of our heartbreak, we hear his voice most clearly. When the applause fades and the spotlight dims, we're invited to discover our true worth, not in others' validation, but in our Creator's unwavering love. Shanice's journey reminds us that our deepest wounds can become the womb of our greatest transformation. When we surrender our pain, God doesn't just heal us, He repurposes us. He turns our mourning into dancing, our shame into testimony. So, if you find yourself at the edge of despair, of identity, of purpose, know this: God's wake-up call isn't to condemn you, but to call you home. Whether you've ever loved too hard, lost yourself chasing clout, or felt broken beyond repair, this story is for you. Subscribe for more real-life Caribbean stories, spiritual motivation, and redemption journeys. Remember, when man fails you, God will restore you. Drop a comment: have you ever ignored the signs for someone who wasn't meant for you? What did God teach you through that? Like, share and subscribe for more truth, tea, and testimonies.